Come on in. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Got some things to talk about. Y'all know how we do over here. Come on in, like the video, like, share, and subscribe. Get my camera situated. Come on in. We got some things to talk about this morning. Y'all know how we do over here. We don't miss a beat. We get into some things. We talk about all things Donald J. Trump, all things USA, all things politics. Come on in, like the video, double tap the screen. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Listen, y'all come on in and get this message because I got a message for y'all. Donald J. Trump, Donald Jaquavius Trump, because that's what the J stand for, Jaquavius. He has a message for the American people. I'm not going to even say the American people. I'm just going to say the people. Because a lot of these people here who are doing the absolute most aren't American. So we just going to call a thing a thing. But President Donald J. Trump has a message. So come on in. I'm going to let a good number of people come on in so I can share this message. Because he said he tired of y'all. Donald J. Trump said, I'm tired of y'all. So he said it with his chest. He got a message, and I'm here to share it. Y'all know I ain't above sharing the message. Whether I'm here for it or not, you all, I'm just here to report on the news. Listen, that's all I do. I don't make it up. I don't make the news. I report on the news. Some folks be mad about it, but I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do. They say you can't make this ish up. I don't be making this ish up. Good morning, Rizza. What's up? Rizza, your president out here signing these executive orders, pissing folks off. You know he lived for that. Oh, so he's still doing what he do. Y'all, come on in. I'm about to tell y'all what Donald J. Trump had to say. I heard him say it. And he said it with his chest. Come on in. He got quite a few messages. Chicago, he said, listen. Help me, help you. Y'all let me know where y'all from in this chat because I'm trying to see something. Let me know. Drop your city, your country. Listen, what flag you represent. Listen, let me know. Because likely he got a message for you too. Donald J. Trump is worldwide, y'all. He say, listen, I'm an equal opportunist. Everybody can get this smoke. Everybody can get this smoke. California saw it first when he had them National Guards posted up out there in Los Angeles. Y'all double tap the screen. Just do a 1-2. See if we can get 100 likes before this video is over with. Welcome to another episode of Car Chronicles. Y'all, if you're new to this and you're not true to this just yet, on my Car Chronicles, I typically do Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I did a bonus one yesterday. But typically Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'll just kind of talk politics, say what's on my mind, and get through this long A drive out here in Atlanta. Y'all know the traffic. Listen, y'all help me out. So it gives me something to do as I drive into the office. These little 2 days during the week that I go into the office. So listen, Linda, listen. Come on in here. I'm about to get going. Y'all know when I get to damn going. Don't be looking for me to damn looking at no comments. I'm trying to keep an eye on the road so everybody can live. But usually when I get to my destination, I'll try to get through the time and something. If YouTube ain't kicked me off, because y'all know YouTube been playing my channel lately. They not here for what I be saying, especially if I'm talking greasy. If it's not favorable for Donald Jaquavius Trump, because that's what I say the J stand for. But listen, Trump said, Chicago, y'all know y'all been doing the most for a long time. Don't act like Don't act like y'all Martha's Vineyard over there. Don't stop it. Stop it, I say. Stop it. I call y'all Chirac too. This is what listen, this is what Trump is saying. He said, y'all stop acting like y'all crime ain't out of control. Is that where drill music come from, y'all? Y'all familiar with that term, drill music in a rap culture? Like, is that Chicago? Is that Chicago? Is that? I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. That's Lori Lightfoot. I know that. I seen her talking yesterday. I said, "Oh." Lori said, "Listen, we don't need you here." Lori was like, "Listen, we don't need you coming to these parts. We got this. You just stay over there. Stay out of here. Don't even be coming over here." What's up? Just say good morning. Lori Lightfoot, the mayor, the governor. Listen, everybody but the people are saying, don't come here to Chicago. The people like, no, you need them first thing smoking come here because it is on and popping. But y'all, it's like it's the politicians that are the ones that it seemed like that are like anti coming there. But the people, y'all, Trump said some black woman, he said some beautiful African American women like, yeah, we need you to come on over here to these parts. F what you heard. F what you heard. It's been on and popping over here all my life. All my life I had to fight. Like, it's giving that type of energy. And I ain't never even stepped foot in Chicago. But I know more about how I be on and popping in Chicago than I do in DC. Because in DC, with the crime rate, when they start, putting out there how bad it was, I was kind of surprised. I just left there for the first time in April. I did family vacation there for spring break with the family. It was cool. I felt very safe, but I was in the city, around the government buildings and all of that. So and it was during the daytime, so maybe that's why. So when I started hearing about the crime being bad, I'm like, wow. But y'all, I ain't never saying wow in a shock surprise factor when it came to Chicago/Chirac. They make movies out of that. I told you I ain't never been there either. But I don't need to go there to know that all my life I knew that just wasn't the place you want to go and call home. I'm just saying that's just what I always knew. I probably knew this as probably a teenager, definitely in my 20s. I'm just now in my early 40s. I've known Chicago just rough and tough. Drill music. Like, these are things that I've heard. Like, baby, ain't nobody lying about Chicago. So we know that it's rough and tough out there in Chicago. So here's this. So you got the government officials talking about, no, we got this plan. We don't need you. You just going to cause problems and confusion. And the people going to be upset. And then that's going to make them do the most. But then I see this video with this cop, this white guy. He trying to do something, do his little job, y'all. He trying to get some order and whatever the hell he was called to. Somebody clearly must have called 911. He show up. I see maybe about 15 people in the video. He trying to hand one of them to get them together. Some man that came behind him, popped his head. He don't know what the freak didn't happen to him. So he looking around. He trying to phone a friend that ain't there. That we talking about, no, we good over here in these parts. Oh, really? Nah. I was just like, ain't no damn way. Y'all, how much they paying them police officers in Chicago? Y'all put that, go on Google that and put that in the chat. Because I know y'all gonna say not a damn enough. Not a damn enough. Child, the way they popped that man upside his head, he wasn't ready. And Kevin Harper, I wasn't ready. That man was not ready. I'm like, damn. He needed to call 911 in that moment. And he is 911. I said, see, this, you can't make this issue up. But y'all talking about, no, we don't need you. Yes, the hell you do. Oh, you need them quick, fast, and in a hurry. Oh, yes, they needs to be there. Y'all, it's so bad. Listen, Trump said, you know what? This crime is so out of control, which it is. I live in Georgia, so Georgia's like Atlanta. is a city that it's on that list of 19 cities in the U.S. where Trump plans to send National Guards, and up to total, it's about 1,700 National Guards. So when I did the math on it, it's roughly about 89, 90 National Guards that maybe you can deploy to each of these cities. I don't know if simultaneously he would have these National Guards kind of here and there, or if it'll be like y'all seen how he was like first at DC. Now he said, okay, Chicago. Like, is it kind of like a round robin type thing? I'm not sure. But it's a total of like 1,700 of them that would be deployed. Yesterday, like, so he had signed this executive order for the creation of like a special unit within the National Guard that would allow for them to have extra additional authority, more so than what they have like now. Because y'all know in DC, like, yesterday was probably the first day they packing now. You can roll up on one if you want to. They packing now, but they, the reason for them having a weapon is to protect themselves, because everybody not happy, out about them being there. Everyone's not happy. But like I say, it's just so crazy because you hear these politicians. I've heard it in DC as well as Chicago. The politicians are the ones saying, no, 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 we don't need you, or even the police chiefs. But then the people in the community like, oh, F what you heard. No, how long can you stay? I'll cook you a meal. You stand through the holidays, Trump, I set you a plate at the table. These people are so grateful for his presence. So it's like, okay, y'all, who are we believing? Are we believing the politicians? Are we believing the elected officials, like your police chief? Are we believing all of them? Are we believing the people in the community? I'm just asking questions, y'all. That's why I got these two YouTube channels, because I be having questions. I don't proclaim to ever have all the answers. God damn it. I got questions, and I be seeking out answers, because I'm not going to sit in a state of confusion. Asking, you shall receive. I believe in seeking out information, and that's what I do. And when I seek that information out, I come here and I share with you all. All I ask is for you to just like the video. It's over 200 of you in here. Just double tap for me. It's free. It helps with the algorithm. I'm a small content creator, just out here just doing my part, just trying to grow. Side note, we hit 6,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you so much. The platform has been growing super, super, super fast. So welcome. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. If you subscribe, you will become a honor student. I affectionately refer to my subscribers as honor students, because we are what? Lifetime learners, and we ask questions over here. We trying to see something. We be asking questions. We be seeking out information, because we ain't going to be sitting in confusion. So you need to rise up to our level, because we ain't going down to yours. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. We got all that kind of energy over here. So with that being said, if you rock with any of that, we'd love to have you over here. But listen, these people out here talking about ish is bad out here in these streets. I know you don't want National Guards out in the communities, but it's so bad to where it's just like the alternative is to continue to just have the results that we've been having. And these people in these communities are like, the math ain't mathing. If they're saying, okay, crime is down, because I think DC is saying their crime is down like 30%. It's the lowest since 2014. This is what the DC politicians, elected officials are saying. So this is your governor and your mayor. They're like, crime is down. We don't need you coming. We don't need you coming here. They doing photo ops and everything at the river. Listen, they showing you all the tourist stuff, the tourist spots. They didn't take you in them other parts where it's going down, where that white man was getting beat upside his head. But it was men and women he was tussling with, and somebody just like came up behind him like bloop, and I said, Lord Jesus, that man didn't know what hit him. That man did not know what hit him. I felt so bad. I'm like, call 911, call 911. I'm like, damn, he is 911. He is 911. Like, oh my. Y'all ever seen them situation where you like, call the police, call the police. Fool, that is the police. Oh shit. That's when you know it's bad. When you hollering from your phone, call the police. And It is the police that's being done up. Like, what do you do? What the freak do you do? It's Chirac. That's why I need for y'all to tell me how much they making over there. What them paychecks looking like as a police officer? Because ain't no you ain't finna be popping me upside my head for a few dollars. For $20. That's what you not finna do. I was like, that man was so shooketh. I'm like, damn. It's tough. It is tough out here. But listen, it's going down in Chicago, regardless of what you hear these politicians say when they get on these cameras. Um, who in here hollering, yeah, I'm trying to move to Chicago. I'm trying to go to Chicago because I want a hot dog. Shit. I want to eat some food, some pizza, some food like that. That's the only reason why I'm trying to get there. And I'm not trying to go with the fam. The kids ain't going. It's just me and my husband. I'm bringing my bodyguard with me. Like, listen, I'm trying to get a plate. I'm a foodie. I'm small, but I'm a foodie. I just do a lot of walking. So I do want to go, but goddamn, I ain't trying to live there. What I want to do that for? I ain't trying to call that home. Y'all, I am from California. I am from California. So, y'all know I'm from the Bay Area, and it ain't from damn Oakland or Sacramento. No, I am not about that life, but I am aware of that life. You see what I'm saying? I am aware of that life. I've lived within an hour of that life. You know what I'm saying? When you know, you done seen some things. So I done seen some stuff. So I've seen enough in my life to know where I want to call home versus where I want to raise my children. And Chicago ain't it, just like New York ain't it. And it is on and popping in both of those places, Democratic ran places. So Trump was at the White House, y'all. Y'all know folks get to asking him questions and he gonna give you an answer just like me. They was like, Trump, when you sending all these these National Guards to the blue states, the Democrat states, when you gonna send some to the other states, to the Republican states? He was like, well, I can, send some over there too, but it ain't that many of them that got violence, that got crime like that on and popping. He was like, it ain't that many of them. Y'all, nobody didn't challenge that statement because I didn't talked about it on this channel. Y'all know good and dang well that most of these cities where it's on and popping, the state is a Democrat ran state. I've talked about it multiple times on this channel. I'd say, if you could choose, which one would you rather live in? Chicago / Chirac, or I'm in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, in Georgia. If you can choose, which one you choosing? If you need help trying to figure it out, go to Beyonce's / Diddy's internet. So when you go to the internet, these are the points I want you to research. I want you to research the crime rate. I want you to research the quality of the schools. I want you to research the jobs. Like, these are the points that I want you to research the cost of living. Like, these are the points, the data points I want you to research, because that is going to tell you how that state is run. And typically it's driven by the highest seat. So that's going to be your governor. Georgia, my governor is Governor Kemp. That's going to be your governor, Republican governor. Now, when you go into the inner city, like of Atlanta, Democrat all day long. It's going to be like a Democrat mayor. It's been a black since I've been living here in Georgia. It's always been a black mayor. It's some black man right now. Child, don't ask me his name, because the last name I remembered was Keisha Lance Bottoms, and she got out the game. She decided to not run again for her seat. So some man, child, down there doing something. So I don't even know his name. I just know it's a black man. But I do know that she is running for governor for our state. I don't know how I feel about that, because I never had anything personal against Keisha. I always found her to be, as far as like her personality and the things that ever just was put out there about her presentation, I just never really had anything bad to say about Keisha. I felt like she did a pretty good job when she was the mayor of Atlanta. She's a non-problematic woman. I'll say that. But like I said, right now our state it's a Republican ran state. We haven't been like Democrat ran since, I think when I did the math, when I looked before, is maybe about 20 years ago, probably like when I was maybe in like high school or something like that. So it's been Republican for a long time. But what I've come to see is that there's a difference with how these states are ran when it's a Republican leader versus a Democrat leader. Y'all, we just don't talk about it. Me, I don't identify to either one. I am like an independent. So I vote based on just whatever your cause is. I used to identify as Democrat until I stopped. I voted for Donald Trump the last two elections. So probably around that time is when I stopped identifying with a party and I just started kind of looking at what someone is, talking about, what they're running on. So the identity politics kind of ended for me after I voted for Obama the second term, because I did vote for Obama. I did vote for Hillary Clinton when he and Trump ran against her the first time. And I didn't like either one of them, but my mindset, like many people, was the lesser of the two evils. And so that's why she got my vote, but I didn't like her. I actually was a supporter of Bernie Sanders back then. Um, but now after Trump did, win that election, and I seen what he did, I'm like, yo, I'm going to judge this man based off of his works, not what the media has put out there about him. Because prior to then, I was judging him on more so that kind of these personal things that was being put out there about him. So, and then he had never done politics before. But once I saw what he did, I'm like, bet, all right then. And I really was like 10 toes down with him when it came to just wanting to crack down on just the illegal immigration situation, because I've seen for a long time that it's been bad here in the US. And nobody really prioritized kind of getting it under control. But Trump, he was like, for me, and I'm only 44 years old. For me, in my lifetime, he was the first person that really I saw prioritize just getting our country back and not having it just filtrated with like illegal people here just illegally, where they come here and they just stay and then they run amok and they do the most and there's the crime. I always say, like, here Americans, we do enough crime on our own. We don't need no help. I use the analogy of like, you got kids, they be doing the most and they bring their friends over doing the absolute most. Take y'all go to hell home, because your kids already enough. They work your nerves, they do the most. You don't need their friends coming over, coming through, doing the most, eating up your food, tearing up your stuff. Listen, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want something added to something that you're already maybe struggling with trying to get under control. That's my mindset. Like, we already got just issues with housing, homelessness, resources, jobs. American people already got these struggles, and we're gonna talk about that too, because that's on the dock. We're gonna talk about this poor job market. Carol B. Lyon bet not get up there on that platform with a cross on. Y'all got my cross on. Because y'all remember Carol B. Lyon Levitt had put hers away, but she pulled it out last week. I guess you heard us talking about it. They better not get up on that platform talking about how good the economy is going and how everybody got jobs, because you are a whole lie. I got a list of companies who have done layoffs. We have lost over 800,000 people have lost their jobs this year alone, just as of July. We ain't even added August numbers in there. And I just learned yesterday of companies who announced layoffs recently during the month of August. Y'all, we're on our way out of August and into September. The market is not good. It's not. It's not good. Y'all, I read a stat that said that the job losses, so remember I told y'all we're up to 800,000 as of July 2025. We were in the 400,000s as of July 2024. They said the job losses have increased. The percentage of losses from last year versus now is like 75% up. So Carol B. Lyon Levitt, because that's what I call her over here, Carol B. Lyon Levitt, bet not get her. up there talking about how good our economy is going. Because y'all know why these jobs are being lost. AI. I've talked about AI a lot on this platform. Recently, it's really last week. Child, I don't know. Just last week, AI just had me in a chokehold. I was just really engulfed in just learning about AI and its impact, where where the creators wanted to go. The whole chat GPT child last week was all about AI. But it has my attention because I'm still a working person. I'm nowhere near retirement. And then I got children who are growing up, one in college, and I'm thinking about, well, what kind of jobs are they going to have? How are they going to support themselves if I'm seeing people today without jobs and struggling to become employed? I can't help but to show concern. I don't know how do you not? AI, there's no job, y'all, that's exempt from AI just coming in taking over. Even with the plumbing. The only thing about with those jobs, when you're dealing with like the, what do you call that, the trade school, those type jobs, the blue collar jobs, it's just that they're kind of behind the white collar jobs as far as with AI taking over. So it's just going to take longer for AI to kind of come in and take over those jobs. It's easier for AI to come in and take over the white collar jobs, those technical jobs, jobs where it's heavy brain, because AI can do the thinking. You see what I'm saying? So it's easier to do programming because all that's just coding and stuff. It's easy to do programming with the AI stuff, but with the blue collar jobs, that's muscle. So they got to kind of create things to kind of, they got to physically like create things to kind of take the place of that. So it's going to be longer for that to kind of, for that to be taken over by AI. But white collar, like what the type of my environment, what the field I am, like those type of jobs. Oh, baby, it's hard out here for a pimp. Pimping ain't easy. It is so hard. And there's so many people who have been without jobs for 6 months or more. So miss me with the market is doing well, the economy is doing well, because you a whole MF lie, you lying. So AI is impacting jobs, tariffs. I did a little short. Y'all check out my little short I did in the store after I ended my PM live. I did a bonus afternoon live yesterday, riding home from work, and I had to make a stop. And so tariffs, that's impacting jobs, because people are like, yo, like, I can't afford to buy the items, the things that I need to operate my business. So I'm going to be doing less of it, less business. So I don't need as many workers, or hell, I'm just leaving the industry altogether. How about that? There are truckers who have left the industry. They're like, listen, my truck's not moving. If you're a trucker, you only make money when your truck's moving, right? You ain't making no money if you just sitting at the Waffle House eating waffles and grits and bacon. That truck got to be moving because you're getting paid by the, like, with the miles and stuff. So it's a struggle out here. It's a struggle. So Chicago, back to Chicago, their elected officials are like, listen, we don't need National Guards coming to our city. What we need is resources. What we need is budget. We need more money so we can put into expanding our police force. Like, this is what they're saying. And I hear you. But to me, y'all got a crime issue as well. So it's not just that. The crime is out of control. But I also understand as well that a lot of times there's a correlation between poverty and crime. Y'all understand? There's a correlation. So if you find an area that has high crime, the poverty levels are pretty high as well. Because the mindset is I don't have it by any means necessary, so I'm going to go and take yours. You see what I'm saying? So you got to hit it all upside the head. You got to hit all the points. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to work on this. You got to connect the dots. You got to connect the dots. So I understand they're saying the resources and things they need, but this crime is out of control as well. And my thing when it comes to these resources, things that they need, A lot of that has to do with the people they're electing in the office and what their priorities are. Are they prioritizing the money to go towards the areas that are weak? The budget. Are you putting money towards, okay, the hiring of more police officers, paying them more money? What are you doing? So I hear you when you say that you need this, that, and the third, but I'm trying to see something. What are you doing with the resources that you have? Before you come to me talking about having your hand out, talking about I need more, I'm trying to see something. What have you done with the resources that you've received thus far? We talking about it because that's what happened. A lot these Democrat states, they ain't getting no less resources than these other states. A Republican ran say Chicago ain't getting no less resources than Georgia. It's what you do with it, right? I'm not gonna sit and believe that Georgia getting all this and that, but New York, Chicago, Governor Slickback Newsom, aka Gavin Newsom, I call him Slickback Newsom because his hair stay fried, dyed, laid to the side. You will not see a hair out of place. I don't know how much damn gel he wake up to put in it every day, because that is not no mousse. That is eco solid gel all day long. When you know, you know. He talking about California getting to the money. We the fourth, you know, when it comes to the amount of money that comes in, we're number 4 in all of the. Well, why is your poverty why you got all them people on the street? Why you got 10 cities? You see what I'm saying? What they say, you let somebody talk long enough, they gonna tell themselves. And he stayed stitching on his own dang self, because he'll talk about how California getting to the money, but sir, your state is down bad, arguably more than any state in the US. So what is you saying? Again, what are you doing with the resources? Because we know that it's not about the money in California. It ain't about the money. It's about what they're doing with the money or not doing with the money. So I can see that also applying to a state like Chicago. They don't have a history of having good people in office. It's always, y'all remember Lori Lightfoot? Them people, if y'all know who I'm talking about, y'all seen the movie Beetlejuice? I just want to throw that out there because some of y'all may be like, I don't know her. But if I throw that out, they be like, oh, snap, I do know her. I'm just giving y'all a reference point, a description. That's just, listen, this is what I don't be comparing that lady to Beetlejuice, but damn, everybody else do. So, Lori Lightfoot was once in leadership there until she got the hell on, and she wasn't doing nothing of substance there. Just like Trump is saying with the current mayor there. He was like, they're grossly incompetent. Like, and how do you argue things like that when you see a state down bad in these areas that I'm talking about? Crime, education, jobs, housing. Like, these are the primary points that people pay attention to, or what you should be paying attention to when you're looking for a place to live. These are the points. Like, you really should be paying attention to these if you really give a damn, especially if you have children or desire to have a family. You should care about these things. And it's sad, but a lot of these Democrat states, they just are ran very poorly. But look at the leaders in place. They got a lot of them got suspect leaders. Listen, I'm just calling a thing a thing. And it's not a black or white thing, because you got a lot of, as we see, there's a lot of white Democrats. The governor of Chicago is a white man. The mayor is black, but the governor is a white guy. So we not talking, it's not no race thing, you all. It's politics. It's not race. Gavin Newsom, that's a whole white man. So, y'all, like, what we doing? What are we doing? But meanwhile, we giving all these rights and stuff to people who aren't here legally. We giving them more rights and passes than we are the people who are actually citizens of the land. Kilmar, Abrego Garcia. Y'all seen that yesterday? ICE rolled up on him. Remember, I talked about it on my morning live. If you were not here yesterday on my morning live, I told the people that Kilmar Abrego Garcia had a court date with the immigration courts first thing Monday morning, and ICE was Tom Homan, the border czar, said ICE, we will be waiting there for him because we plan to ship him off to Uganda as early as Wednesday. So he did show up to his court appearance, and ICE was there waiting on him, and they got him up on out of there and sent him to wherever. They said, they asked the attorney where was he, where they sent him to. He was like, I don't know. So, but since then, Abrego, he has filed a lawsuit. So somehow he was able to file a lawsuit. I don't know. The attorney they probably already had the paperwork drawn up, and so a lawsuit was filed against to stop him from being sent to Uganda. So a judge ruled in a favor temporarily for Abrego Garcia to not leave the United States until the lawsuit is settled. He must stay detained here in the U.S. So what that sounds like to me is that ICE can still hold on to him until the lawsuit is settled. Who knows how long that's going to take, but it's not like he's going home. The way it read when I went onto the internet, I did a Google of, the situation. It said that the judge said that he must be detained in the U.S. So to me, that sounds like he would still stay, in the ICE custody. He's not like going home. But his lawsuit is centered around his constitutional rights or whatever being violated. And my thing is, how are you not a citizen of the U.S. and you can damn fall back on constitutional rights? I'm just trying to understand, y'all. I'll be trying to damn understand. I just be trying to understand. And let me throw in, and the man acting like he don't even speak English, because every time he speaks in front of people, it's in Spanish and there's a translator. I just learned that yesterday. I was like, I know you effing lying. Now he done down the absolute most. There's a paper trail of his shenanigans. He been over here since he was 16. He 30 years old and he don't speak English. Shut the front door and call the police. Call the police. How, Sway? And now he arguing about his rights in Spanish? That judge need to be like, I need for you to say all of that in English. Then we can talk about something. How you arguing for your rights and your rights being violated, this, that, and the third in Spanish in another language? You've been over here since you was 16 and you ain't learned the language, but you're trying to fight to stay in a country where you didn't even value it enough to learn the language? I'm just trying to understand, y'all, because it be having me confused. I be as confused as a mofo. I be confused. So he done filed a lawsuit, child. These people out here like, Lord, this man get more passes than the law should allow. And y'all know us foundational Americans, let us doggone get caught jaywalking, littering. Y'all know they finna hem us up because y'all know they got surveillance cameras everywhere. We can't do nothing. But the illegal immigrants, it's given that they got more rights. They got more rights than us who was born over here. I'm FBA, foundational Black American. Child, I'm born, like, all my lineage traces back to the US of A. But they get all these passes. It's crazy, yo. You can't make this ish up. But this is America. It is real. Like, this is what's going on. You don't know the language, but you fighting to stay here because you value being here, but you didn't value it enough to assimilate to the country and at least learn the language. You can still speak your native language. I work around people who speak Spanish, and when they're communicating with each other, like I took notice yesterday, I'm like, or recently, two Spanish speakers, one from Mexico, one from Puerto Rico, and when they talk, they speak Spanish to each other. I don't see nothing wrong with it because they're able to utilize their language, but any other time they're speaking, English around everybody else, but, they'll speak their language with each other. I think it's cool that they're able to bond together and be able to speak their language with one another, but they know the English language. So when they're communicating with everybody else who speaks English, they're speaking the language. So it's so this man arguing for about how his rights are being violated in Spanish. Purpose that Latinos are not mad. This is just like make it make sense. So Trump signed an executive order. Y'all like the video for me? See if we can get to 100 likes. Trump signed an executive order yesterday also. So remember I told you first the first executive order is for the National Guards. He wants a special unit created so therefore they can work in line with like the police officers, basically be like a backup to like law officials. Because normally I guess they don't really typically I guess I don't know. This special unit will be able to they'll wear weapons. They'll just be like a behind law officials. So if law officials need help, whatever, they'll be able to do whatever the law official is able to do. So you would basically have to respect them, what they're saying in that moment, just like you would a police officer. Um, so it will instruct officials to deputize the members of the unit to enforce federal law. So they will be able to enforce like the federal law. So you got to respect them. So that's something that he signed as an executive order. Um, He also signed an executive order centered around the burning of the American flag. If you burn the American flag, Donald J. Trump said that you will get up to 1 year in jail. No questions asked, just 1 year. You will be locked up for 1 year if you burn the U.S. flag. Because he said that falls under inciting riot. Because when you burn a flag, it gets people going and riled up, he said. And that's inciting a riot. So he's like, burn a flag 1 year, because he said across the U.S., there's a lot of people out here burning the American flag, and it's not cool. So you can get up to 1 year in jail for burning the American flag. So don't say I ain't told you. Also, this will be on your record. So don't think you're finna go apply for you a job and this ain't gonna come up. It's gonna be on your record. To say so I can't burn a flag I own. No. If he sees, here's my thing. What they say is not what you do, how you do it. If it becomes known that you burned a flag, so say if it is your flag and someone sees it and they report you that you burned your flag, the rule is based off of this executive order he signed, you cannot burn the American flag. So just be mindful of that. You can look it up, see the details behind it. But when he talked about it, he did not distinguish whether or not, because I would say, hell, the people who burn the flags, that's their flag. They burning their flag, you know? So they went and bought it, got it from whatever. That's their flag. They're burning it. So that's not going to be like a strong argument. Well, it's my flag. Okay, the people who are on the news or whatever on Instagram, TikTok burning flags, that's their flag as well, right? It's not hard to get a flag. So my thing is, if you're caught burning a flag, you can get up to 1 year in jail. That's the executive order that he signed yesterday. And he said it will be on your record because he said burning a flag incites riot. He's like, when they see, I guess, these clips and all these things with people when they're burning flags, it's a lot of commotion, things like that taking place. So he was like, listen, if you burn a flag, automatic 1 year, not no negotiations. He was like, listen, we not going back and forth. You're doing 1 year in jail and it's going on your record. He said it'll be, so research it, look into it. I'm just sharing the information. That's what he did. Jen said, sound like a dictator. This is America. I mean, I'm putting it out there. This is the elected President of the United States of America, and this is what he's doing. We're underneath his leadership here in the United States. I live in the state of Georgia in the United States, for those of you who live in another country. Um, a lot of people aren't here for how Donald Jaquavius Trump operates, but he's the president. He's the president. He has the ability to sign, sign these executive orders, and he's doing it. He's exercising his rights. So what that means is anybody who comes behind him, they can do the same. They can change. Because I always think about, all the things that he's doing. Somebody coming along and just kind of undoing it and things like that. But as long as he's here in office, and we only at like half the year, a little more than half the year, so we got plenty of more time to be underneath his leadership. And this is how he roll. This is how he rolls. So you need to at least understand, what you're up against, so you know how to move. My thing is with Trump, and as he's wanting to send the National Guard into these cities, it may be your city. If you are somebody that live your life on the up and up, I personally don't feel like you have a lot to worry about. But a lot of people don't live their life on the up and up. And those are the people who are really concerned, because they know they be on some other stuff. They know their kids be on some other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you be on some other stuff, you like, oh, hell no, he can't come here. He finna mess up my whole little situation I got going on the block. I'm really gonna be on the soup line. I'm doing this because, hell, I'm trying to make up for not having enough money over here, So I think a lot of people are kind of frazzled by this whole thing, because they know that, okay, it's going to be more eyes on them, and they not here for that, because they low key, they know they not living right. They know they people ain't living right, so they like, no, don't come here. But like I said, like, the politicians are on the camera talking about no, but when you see these compilations, and you see the people, I call it the people that are boots on ground. Hey, welcome, y'all. Good morning, everyone. The people who are boots on the ground, they gonna tell you how it is. That's why I say, you all, on any content you go to, look in the comments, because those people are the people who are living the life, the experience. See what they say. See if they say, oh no, it's bad here in DC, or they be like, nah, we Gucci, it's all good here. Pay attention to that, because to me that holds more weight than what a politician or an elected official is saying, because I feel like they're motivated by money, a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I told you about these resources coming into the city and the state, and they're not using the money like they should. So they're lining their pockets. So they gonna say whatever, because they want that money to still come. They don't want to mess up the situation. But the people in the community are like, no, we're not benefiting here. We've elected these people into office, and they're doing us dirty. We're not winning. We're not winning. So they're telling it like it is. So they'll do their compilation and do their videos on social media, but a lot of them will just be in the comments on videos. So if you look in the comments and read the comments, the people are saying, like, they're really saying, like, no, what's up? Good morning, Tim. They're really saying, like, no, it ain't like that. Yeah, it's more like this. It's been rough for a minute. Especially in DC. I keep seeing all these videos with people, black people, actually. I don't think I even seen a white person talking about crime in DC, but I think DC is what, mostly black people. But they're like, man, it's been rough out here for a long time. Or they're talking about, man, I feel good that I can walk outside and just not feel like I'm gonna get jacked. Look over there. The police, like, they're feeling just comfortable and confident about being outside. And that got to be a good feeling, because I don't know what it feels like to live in a community where I don't feel safe going outside, or my kids being outside. But I know it's real here in American streets, but it's just hadn't been my experience. But I understand it's the experience of a lot of people. It's the experience of a lot of people, especially people that look like me, because a lot of our communities are crime filled. But remember, I told you there's a link between the poverty levels and the crime rate. When poverty levels are low, typically the crime rate is high. And a lot of times people are doing crimes out of like desperation. They're like, well, I can't get a job, this, and that. No, it's no excuse to do crime, but this is what people are doing. They're falling back on, well, I haven't been able to get employed. I did some time in prison and I got a record. I'm a felon. And I keep applying for these jobs and they're telling me no. But I still got to put food on the table. I still got to eat. I got a family. I need something because I can't get a good paying job to support my family. So I got to supplement. You see what I'm saying? Thank you for the super chat, Aaron. It says economics downstream of policy, or is it policy downstream of economics? Good question. Good question. You got to make it make sense. You got to make it make sense. So we do have to work on dealing with this crime in the communities, but we also got to deal with the impoverished communities and the resources or the lack thereof resources in these communities. Meaning we really need to be looking at how the money is being spent. So here's the thing with that, which makes me question if it's a good thing or not. So y'all know with the big beautiful bill, there are a lot of like there's resources, or even with like the Department of Education, when they dismantled that, they're wanting to send a lot of control down to the state level. But I done told y'all that a lot of these states not doing what they supposed to do. So is that a good thing to give the state more money and resources for them to do whatever if they half of them ain't doing what they supposed to do already with what they been getting? I'm just saying, I'm asking questions. If you already been giving them, let's just say 5 million, and they ain't been doing what they supposed to be doing with it, and now you say, all right, then we don't even want to deal with it no more. We just gonna give you the full budget, which is now 15 million. Y'all, they could do what it do. If they wasn't doing right by the 5, do you have faith they gonna do right by the 15? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, is that the solution? Because a lot of like these teachers, they were like, I don't trust that handing all the money to the state, they're going to filter that money to us for us to do what we need to do. This is what they were saying. This was at the top of the year earlier on when Trump was doing, dismantling the Department of Education. People are losing their jobs. People are like, I don't trust that. They're like, I don't trust that. So I feel like you're going to have some states that's going to do what they supposed to do and act responsibly. And I think you can probably tell which states those are just based off of how they operate now. Do your research to see as a state, like, how do they operate when it comes to the education? When it comes to housing? Like, are they good in those areas? Or are they struggling in those areas? Because I don't think, I think, like I said, I really feel like a lot of the struggle is rooted in the politics and politicians not doing their part by the people. But they make it seem like, well, we're not giving enough for us to do what we need to do, when it's just like, if that is the case, why is it that, like I started, when I earlier on saying that you see a difference between how a Democrat state is ran versus a Republican state is ran? Why is there this commonality between Democrat states and how they ran versus Republican states? There's got to be some type of correlation there with a meeting of the minds as to why they operate very similar. Is it by design? Is it by design? Is everybody in on it? Think about it. If is everybody in on it, that you got all these Republican states and they are moving the same way, That's not by coincidence. That's systematic. There's a design there. Y'all listen, I'm driving past a DHL truck. I told y'all yesterday, DHL, they're the biggest distributor in Europe. They told them people, we're not delivering any more packages to the US. So don't be calling us, telling us to come by and pick something up to send to the US, because we're not doing it. We're not delivering packages for businesses who have customers in the US. So listen, don't argue with me, argue with your mama. This is what they said on Saturday. I just want to throw that in there because the DHL truck just drove past me, and I rarely see DHL. I know it's a business, but it's not popular like that here. You're going to see UPS, FedEx. You're not going to see DHL like that where I live in Georgia. But anyway, he said, bye DHL. So DHL said, listen, so who knows how long DHL going to be around? You want to throw that out there. So what we doing? Again, it's these people that we got in office, politicking, doing bad politics, and as a result, the people are down bad. Them people in Chicago, my husband was telling me about a video. He was trying to find it to share with me. He couldn't find it again. And he hangs out a lot on Instagram, and he said it was a video, and it might be the same women who Trump said he spoke to, who told him to come to Chicago. But apparently there's these women who are like, no, F what you heard. The mayor, the governor saying, no, you don't need to come here. Oh, yes, the hell you do. I'm going to need for you to come here quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then they just cussing out the local politicians there for just doing them dirty, not doing right by them. That's why I say we got to listen to the people, not the politicians, because the people are the ones who are living the real life experience. The people are the ones who are the work, the people who are losing their jobs. So as Trump get up there, or Carol B. Lyon Levitt talk about the economy is this or that, are you going to listen to her? Or are you going to look to your right and left to see what's happening around you? Because that's the telltale truth. Because people who live in penthouses, they're not tapped in with people who live at the bottom, who are walking the streets going to and from work every day. They don't have the same experience. They're not seeing things from the same lens. So that's why I say you got to talk to your neighbor, see what they talking about, get into the comments on content and see what they're talking about, because they're going to tell you the real deal Holyfield. They're going to tell you like, nah, it's hard. Even I'm seeing a lot of videos out here with content creators saying how it's hard now for them to even make their money as content creators, where they're seeing an impact there. They're like, it's hard. So a lot of people, we live in times where people got multiple hustles. There's multiple things that they're doing, because one income is not enough, and it's not security. There's no security there. So many people here in America, where we're moving, we don't have the security. We don't have, say, if we lose our job today, 3-6 months of reserve in the event something happens. And I don't feel that that's because of just being irresponsible. I feel that the vast majority of people make just enough to get by. Meaning they make just enough to pay their rent, pay their car note, get some little bit of food, and have some gas money, and maybe a few little dollars to throw towards whatever the kids want to do. But it ain't, it's they're stretched thin. That check just be gone. How many of you, just as quick as you get that deposit, it's gone? You like, damn, where'd it go? It came and it went. It came and it went. How many of you have that story? Like, you like, damn, like, and you a week away from your next payday, or you 2 weeks away because it went so fast, because maybe you was behind on something. So now is in you what they say, steal from Peter to pay Paul. You just moving money all over the place. You borrowing money, and you feel like you can't get on top. And you ain't even got no record. How about that? Because most of us ain't even got no criminal record. So you ain't even got no criminal record that's keeping you from getting to the money, but you still feel like you're not getting to the money. So imagine, y'all, if you had the stain on your record, what life would be like as you try to get to it. It's hard out here for a pimp. Pimping ain't easy. It's hard. This is a worldwide thing. This is not just a U.S. thing. It is hard. Right now, we live in times where it's the haves versus the have-nots, the rich versus the poor. Middle class is gone. Y'all, middle class been gone. Y'all ever heard of the term the working poor? Let me explain to you what the working poor is. The working poor is somebody who work every day, get their 40 or 40 plus hours in a week, and it's just enough to get by. That is working poor. Just enough to get by. Or how about those of you who may got a job and got a car but ain't got no roof, nowhere to live, so you living in your car? How many of y'all have experienced that or doing that right now? There are a lot of people who are living in their vehicles right now. There are people who bought vehicles with a mindset of, well, let me get this SUV, this van, just in case if I need someplace to live for me and my family, we can sleep in here. Come on, somebody. How many of you all have bought things thinking ahead for the times when things are just worse than what they are? You just trying to be proactive. You done bought you some tents. You done bought you some fishing poles. You done bought you some non-perishable food. Like, you done bought all kinds of stuff to prepare you for the day when things become worse than what they are, because we live in these times where they say you need to prepare a bug out. Y'all ever heard of a bug out bag, where everybody in the house got a bag? So if things get funky, go left, you grab your bag and it got these essentials in it. If you got medication you got to take regularly, you got drawers, you got toothbrush, paper, toilet paper, you got basic essentials, you got maybe an outfit or two, some socks, you got a water bottle, you got some non-perishable food. That's what they call it. You got a flashlight, a battery pack. They call that a bug out bag. So if you just got to grab your bag and go, there's a lot of people who live like this, and a lot of people who've been living like this for years. I know people who the way I'm speaking to you all now, they seen this well before the pandemic. See, the pandemic had a lot of people become more aware. That's when I will say I became more aware of just society and where we were going in life. Prior to the pandemic, I wasn't really tapped in like that. My attention was on other things. My kids were younger. I was raising a family, working on higher education. I was just trying to live. How many of y'all know what that means when you just like, shit, I'm just trying to live? I don't know what the weather is today. You said what? The tornado? Who coming? You said tornado Alfred coming through, child. I didn't miss that report, because you just trying to live. You tapped out. How many of you ever feel so stretched thin to where you like, child, I can't worry. There's, baby, I'm so stretched thin to where I can't even worry about what you just told me about, even though it sounds like craziness, like, but I'm so stretched thin to where I can't even take that on. I can't even take that on. And that's somebody even who's not even doing, say, parenting by themselves or even have children. Two parent, I'm married over 20 years. 2-parent household, 3 children. I felt all of that while the entire time having partnership. So I know that the stress level got to be on 10 for somebody who's doing this thing called life by themselves. I get it and I understand. It's hard. Lifing is hard. It's hard. And that is why when it came to like with politics and stuff, it was just like, I can't, even though I would get the push from other people say, hey, pay attention to this or talk about this and do politics. I just was like, yo, like, I can't, I can't think about that. But then I evolved and I started to notice that I could not afford to not think about the things centered around politics. My children were getting older.
They were now getting ready to enter into the life as an adult. So it's just like, wait a minute, what's going on? And that happened to a lot of people, since 2020, is that when the world just took this drastic change, people was just like, damn, like, I ain't never seen this before. Like, this real different. And then people started trying to live their best life. Y'all seen the exodus? Like, a lot of people was quitting their jobs to now, listen, people can't even buy a job. Now the thing to do isn't to quit your job. Y'all remember not that long ago, it was the mass exodus. Like, people was quitting their jobs. People was trying to move around and do things that they felt was more fulfilling, or people was like trying to do jobs that they can do remotely and not have to go on like, for whatever reason, these people was just quitting these jobs. But now fast forward to today, you're not hearing that where these people are talking about, I'm trying to quit my job. They're saying like, I don't like my job, and somebody else saying, girl, child, you better keep that job for now. It's hard out here for a pimp. When you know, you know. So this is a different time. It's a different time now than what it was before, when you can just say, oh, I'm about to just go get another job. How many of y'all remember those times when you could just easy just be like, I moved to Georgia in 96. I was just a teenager, like 15. And with my family, my mother had a job transfer. So that's how I left California. But I remember when I graduated high school, 99, and just getting out in the workforce, because I wasn't privileged enough to go into college. Like, that just wasn't my situation. I mean, I had to go straight to work. So I went into a corporate environment. I'm the youngest. I was the youngest one working around people who had families, wives, husbands, had children. And here I was, a 19, 20-year-old girl working this job, making a good amount of money for my age, living at home still, giving mama a few dollars to help with bills, but having the rest of my check. Life was good. Life was good. And if at that time, if I didn't want that job and want to go do something else, it was nothing to go and just get another job. Y'all remember those times? We like, child, you used to change job, like change drawers and change your man. You was just moving around. You just move around and go do something else. I remember as a young girl hearing people talk about there's no excuse of coming to Georgia and not being employed, because it was that easy to get a job here in Georgia. Like, that was the saying in like the late 90s. I remember as a teenager hearing that, hearing the adults saying, hear my mom say, there's no excuse for anybody to not have a job here in Georgia. Georgia was just the place to be if you just wanted something out of life. You can come here, you can get a job, you can get affordable housing. Like, it was all of those things. All things. And I said I came from California. You weren't saying it even in the 90s about California. California was always expensive. Nobody in my family at that time was a homeowner when I lived in California. And most people in my family since then haven't been homeowners. I can only think of one family member that was a homeowner. And since then, due to just the economy and things, they lost their house. Back with the 2008 hit, where a lot of people in the economy, with things went to the pits of hell, that one family member that did have a house, a $500,000 valued house, child, it wasn't bigger than my house, but because the things cost so much out there, $500,000 house, they ended up losing the house because they lost their jobs. That was the only homeowner that in the family in California. They've never bought another house since then, and nobody else in the family ever became a homeowner in California. So when I say living in Georgia, it was so different from where I came from. It made Georgia people living in Georgia felt like we can just, you know how you feel like you work hard, and as a result of your efforts, you have things. Because right now people are working hard and we feel like we ain't got nothing to show for. But it wasn't always like that. There was a time where we could work hard and we had things to show for. Not so much today. Now you like, listen, it's not enough. There was a time when we felt like it was enough. Now it ain't enough. Everybody feel like they on the soup line. That's why I say there is no middle class. You have the working poor. You have the rich. Your rich is going to be, your politicians, your elite, your celebrities, and then you got everybody else, which is the working poor, which 9 times out of 10, You are basically living from paycheck to paycheck, and you don't have this nest egg of savings for something unexpected to happen. You ain't got it. You like, oh, MG. So these people, as they're losing their jobs, their high paying 6-figure jobs, these people making 80,000, 100,000 plus jobs, because these positions that are being impacted, that's the type of money these people are making. These people are in IT. IT has always been known to be a good field. The IT field, and medical engineering. I knew growing up as a child that being an engineer was a good paying field. Being in the medical field, like a nurse or a doctor, a dentist, good paying job. Like, theirs are just, things that you just know. So here it is that now overnight, these people are learning that, oh, snap, I ain't got a job. I ain't got a job, which translates to I don't have a paycheck anymore. No job means no paycheck, right? That don't mean no bills. No job just means no paycheck. No job does not mean no bills. No job means I have no paycheck to pay the bills that are still coming in. Come on, y'all hear what I'm talking about? The bills still come. The bills still come. So guess what? Because the bills are still coming and now you down bad. Guess what? Guess what else about to be down bad? Your credit. Your credit. I see something where, Trump was working with trying to fight against FICO and try to get rid of that and all of that. Which, how many of you all wish that, that would just go away, child? Where you don't have to worry about Experian, you ain't got to worry about all of that. A credit score and all of that. But now these people who have lost their jobs, you don't think that they're thinking about things like that? Like, damn, my credit's about to take a hit. And it's not easy to just build your credit back up. Some people know some little tricks and things to get it back up, but you're not doing it without money coming in. Let's start there. You need to get the money coming flowing back in before you can even start fixing. You can't start fixing or repairing your credit if you do not have consistent income coming in, right? You gotta have money. So things like all of this impacts the psyche. As a result of all this, more people will start to experience depression, which is understandable. Think about it. I just said you got all these responsibilities. You got children in college. You got bills. You got a car note. So it's like, damn, I got all of this. What's more important? I only got this amount of money left. My savings is dwindling. I got, the rent, mortgage is this, but my car note is this. I need the car because that's the transportation to try to get to go to work or to try to find another job. Because where I live in Georgia, my town, I don't have public transportation like that. Like, they don't have public transportation like a bus line where I live. I live in the suburbs. In my community, since I lived here, they've always fought against having the transportation. Like, so MARTA is the big transportation line here in Georgia, MARTA Transit. And where I live, it's not where I live. Where I live in the county where I live, I've been here since I moved here. So that's been the 90s. I came here in 96. I moved to Gwinnett, the county I live in, 97. They've always voted against having MARTA here. And I think it was rooted in keeping like minority people, black people, Hispanics kind of out, because at that time it was primarily white. Now there's a lot of people of other races that live where I live, especially black, a lot of black, but they're black people who do pretty okay. Pretty okay. It's not gonna be your hood chronicle type of, is, black people who are just, hardworking people, go to work, send their kids to a good quality school, that. And so when you don't have the money coming in, but you got all these responsibilities and you got these people depending on you, it will impact your psyche. It will impact your emotional state. It will impact your physical body, because some people, when they stress, they don't eat. Some people, when they stress, they will overeat. Which one are you?
Because I found that you're gonna fall into one. I don't eat. And I usually can tell which one a person is based off of just how their normal weight is. Usually a big person, a person who already just looks visibly overweight. I've never met one where they say when they're stressed they don't eat. They say they eat. They're an emotional eater. The ones who are small frame, they'll say, yeah, when I'm stressed, I don't have an appetite. Those of you who are new to my platform, hey, welcome. Good morning. My name is Chic. My background is clinical mental health counseling. I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, which means that your girl can be a whole therapist out here. Psychologist. I can do all of that, based off of my education. I would just activate the license, set up shop, and then you come lay on the couch and tell me just what your struggles are. But I choose to not serve in that capacity. I once wanted to serve the world in that way until I was like, no, I didn't feel like it was my calling to show up for the people in that way. I like content creation. I like just helping people just randomly versus you having to pay me a retainer, book a time on my calendar. I like to just show up, just get in a random conversation with somebody and just give them just information that they probably would have had to go pay for. And they don't even have a clue what I know or who they're talking to. And I'm just giving them information. Like I like that because I know that the information I know, many people have to go pay for that because they don't have anybody in their life to talk to that know what I know. I get it. So for me, it's not about the money. It's just about helping the people. So on content, as a content creator, I can help so many people at one time. But most of the time when I'm moving about in these streets, people don't know. Like I don't wear my credentials like on my sleeve. Like I just talk to people like normal. And if you talk to me, maybe have multiple conversations with me, at some point I may say end up saying, sharing with you, okay, what my background is. But otherwise, I'm just talking to you like a regular person, like I talk to y'all. I just try to be more intentional with throwing out there, okay, my background when it comes to my education, because so it can kind of make sense to people why I speak the way I do or where it's coming from. So I do have like a lot of education. Uh, but y'all, most of the stuff on this channel I talk is rooted in common sense. It ain't got nothing to do with nan degree. So that's another reason why, because I feel like I move about in this world based on like just heavy in the common sense. Like just don't make sense. It ain't got nothing to do with no education. No, it ain't about that. It's just common sense, y'all. Because a lot of this ish out here is just common sense. You don't need to have higher education to understand what's going on around here. You don't. But I'll just kind of, just to give context more of who I am, I'll just kind of, share some information about me like that as far as with my education. Sometimes folks be confused. And then when I tell them that, they be like, okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense why you are all of that. You talk like that. But I don't lead with that. I don't lead with my education. I'm just a regular person trying to damn live like the next person. I just happen to know a thing or two when it comes to mental health. And so that means that I walk around diagnosing people all day. But for real, like, because of my education being what it is, it helps me to better connect with people, because I'm trying, I'm able to see things that other people don't see about people. So what I see, I kind of will kind of adjust with how I deal with people based off of like what I see because of my background. Um, I can't help it. I can't help it. I study people. I'm educated in studying people. I always say people is my favorite subject before even getting any type of degrees in, counseling. It's like I just love to study people, the behaviors, thought process, all of that. So everything that's going on, like everything that we experience in life, it has some type of impact on us, good or bad, on our bodies, good or bad. There is an impact there. And we need to be mindful and cognizant of that. Ladies, I need you to understand that men go through things too. If you are a wife and you're at home mom or whatever and your man work, keep in mind that it's not talked about a lot as far as like the men and their psyche and the things that they also deal with just moving about in these streets. A lot of focus is on women and what we go through and all of that, but men go through things too. The difference is that they are trained and taught to not really talk about it, to just push through. So people will just be caught up in their own world and just live it and not pay attention. And they'll just miss all the signs that the person wasn't right and they was just going through the motions because he knows, like, wow, I got to keep food on the table. I got to do this. I got to do that. Life is hard. It's not hard just for women. It's hard for men, kids. Everybody can get this work. The dog, the cat, everybody can get this work. It's hard. It is hard. So we got to just be mindful of those around us. Check in with our loved ones to see how they're doing, because a lot of people aren't doing well. Some of you may not be doing well, and you like, yeah, I haven't even told anybody. Nobody knows that I'm not doing well because I haven't said anything. I just kind of been just living and dealing with it because I know other people. How many of you are like, I don't share my issues because I know other people got issues too, and I don't want them to think um, that I'm weak, or I don't want them to think that I'm putting something on them. Like, people will come up with all these thoughts, reasonings as to why to not let someone know that they are struggling, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally. They'll come up with all the reasons that serves them no good, but they'll come up with all the reasons. And then when something bad happens, the loved ones are like, damn, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. How many of you later after the fact learned of somebody near and dear to you, they were going through it, you didn't know, but had you known, things could have been different. It's like, damn, had I known, but you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Help me, help you, help me, help you. Like, you don't know. You don't know. And or some of you where you're like, damn, how did I miss that? The person, you sit and wondering how you missed the signs. Damn, was I wrapped up in my own stuff to where I missed the signs that my child was going through something, my spouse, my mate was going, my mom, like, because I'm just so, my mind is over here. I'm just trying to live. I know what it is to be tapped out and just spread thin, and you feel like you don't even have the capacity. And it's not like you're intentionally trying to be selfish. You just feel like you just ain't even got it in you to be everything for everyone. Sometimes people have you to feel like you must be everything for everyone. And you like, child, I can't do it. And some of these people just go and take themselves right on out of here because of that. They just be like, it's just, I can't. I've seen this thing online or on the line where I think these ladies were saying, I can't even afford to just exist. Y'all, like, that's like a word. Like, I can't even afford to exist. Like, y'all, think about that. Think about that. I can't even afford to exist. What does that mean to you? What comes along with existing? Because it ain't free. It's not free. It's not free to exist. Hard times for many. It's not free to exist. And we wake up and we do it again. It's wash, rinse, and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. It's like we're robotic. Any of you ever feel like a robot sometimes? Where you just going through the motions. Wash, rinse, repeat. You at a point to where you just going through the motions to where you're not even being phased like by the nonsense like you should or used to be anymore, because it's just like you so used to the confusion to where it's just like, I'm just used to it being chaotic. I'm just used to the struggle. I'm just used to not being able to depend on him or to depend on her. I'm just used to getting a phone call from the schools because of my kids. I'm just used to it. And I know it's not right, but I'm just used to it. And I don't know what to do. So that's why I be over here eating these donuts, eating these burgers and fries, because I don't know what to do.
I can't afford to go take a vacation. I don't have a babysitter. Child care is a mortgage payment. I struggle to find somebody to watch the kids. I have no outlet. Ain't no money to go to no gym membership, to buy a gym. I'm tapped out. I ain't got no man to rub me down. Like, I'm backed up. It's been a minute. Stella well overdue with needing to get her groove back. I'm just my hair falling out. I got bald spots and patches. These toes are just atrocious. I ain't had a mani pedi in Lord knows how long because it ain't no money for that because that didn't went up too. So I gotta throw this damn wig on. A lot of folks out here, y'all wearing these wigs because they bald headed underneath. They stressed. They got patches. They looking crazy. So a lot of people, they're doing. They got this. They're doing things just because they just not well. They're not well. I get it. I get it. I get it. And I don't have to experience everything that everyone experiences to get it and to understand the struggles of life. I personally find it hard how people can try to understand or relate to what somebody's going through when they didn't experience something. I don't feel like you have to experience everything. I don't. Like, I can listen to somebody's story and pay attention and it makes sense that that would be hard. I've never experienced being a single parent, but I can look and be like, that should look hard. I was a product of it, a single parent. Like, that should look hard. I wasn't trying to sign up for that. And I never experienced it, but I was able to see it in other households in the family to be like, damn, that look hard. I ain't trying to intentionally do that shit. Life be happening and that can be the result of your situation. But I'm not going to intentionally go into it like that because that should look hard and I'm not. Life's about choices and that is not the choice I'm trying to make. So that was what my life was rooted in. I'd be like, y'all, I ain't do nothing spectacular. I just read the room. I just watched and seen what other people was doing and I'm like, oh, bet. All right, then she did that. Oh, that worked out. Oh, she did that. Oh, shit, that one didn't work out. All right, I'm not gonna do that. Y'all, literally, that's how I've made a lot of decisions. That's why I was like, this ain't got nothing to do with education I be talking about. It's common sense, discernment, just paying attention, peeping game. I just happen to have a lot of education, but I'm moving through life primarily on um, common sense and discernment. I'm a spiritual person. That's what I'm moving through. Like, it's that. It's not these degrees that's getting me through. It's not that. It's that other stuff. It's that other stuff. When you know, you know. It's that other stuff. That stuff that comes with life experiences. Mama always would say, you live long enough, you're going to experience some things. And she would say that because a lot of times, I would talk about things that I just didn't understand because I was young. But I've lived to be able to see it, to understand, like, damn, what they say never. Never say never. So I've lived, it started to sink in when I got about 30. How many of y'all got that point in your life where you can pinpoint when it's just got real, when you be like, damn, I'm living now, like this is it. I don't know if it's 30, that number I hear every 10 years for the women. It's just like this transition. But at 30, that was when life started hitting, like, oh, snap, this is life. And then when I turned 40, right at the time of the pandemic, I turned 40 during that year. Um, that's when I really felt like I was just unapologetically me. And I was good with that. I was good with just being me. So we'll see what 50 brings. I'll be 45 this year in October. So we'll see what 50 brings. But that has been life for me. Um, how has life been for you? We all have a story. We all have a story. And It's up to you if you want to tell it, if you want to share it. But I encourage people to share their story because it's your testimony, and you never know who needs to hear it. Because a lot of times people just show up in your life when they see you on top or see you at a certain level, but they didn't see the struggle. They didn't know you then. They didn't know there was a struggle. They didn't know how hard you worked to get to where you are. They ain't see that. They just see where you are today and maybe wanted to try to get it or whatever. But they don't know your history, your story. So that's why I encourage people, tell your story. Talk about like how you got to where you got to, what motivated you. Because I believe that a lot of what we deal with in life is centered around that, it being a story, a testimony for the people who will come into your life down the line. Thank you so much for your super chat. Slow your roll. But I started to experience that like when I was maybe about 35, where I started to, the things that I was experiencing at 30. So right around 35, I'm like, wow, I really feel like I went through what I went through to be able to have that testimony to share it with this person who's going through that very thing right now. Y'all ever experienced that where you went through something and then down the line you talk to somebody about what you went through and it was just like everything for that person? And it made you think about, wow, like, damn, like, had I not gone through that, I wouldn't have been able to help this person through what they're going through, guide them, give them the strength to encourage them to work through whatever they're going through, to let them know that, hey, it's just temporary. It's, y'all, that's a different type of feeling. That's when you know that it's bigger than you. When you ever hear the saying, they be like, it's bigger than me. Like, it's bigger than you. Like, that's ego for you to think that everything is just about you. No, baby, it's not about you. It's never about you. It's bigger than you. It's about the impact that you're having on those around you. Sometimes I find myself thinking, I haven't done it in a while, but I'll find myself thinking, if I were to not be here one day and I just wasn't breathing no more, what would people say about me as far as the type of impact I had on their life? Y'all ever think about that? Because that's the telltale of what type of person you were. What would people say about you? I care about stuff like that. So I'm conscious about how I interact with people and treat people, because we experience people. People will remember more people will remember more about how you made them feel versus what you said. Y'all ever heard that before? Think about it. The encounters that you've had with people would have stayed with you more how someone made you feel or just what they said. Because sometimes people say things and it don't kind of you. The feeling of what somebody has said or what somebody did, like just the feeling that was invoked, don't that stay with you? Like, to me, so I think about, like, I view myself like I want to be an experience for people to where they're like, yo, shit, I was going through it and then she came and she said whatever, and hell, I done damn forgot that I was damn about to end it all because she be talking so crazy. She made me forget and start writing my damn last letter. Start start writing. Y'all know sometimes people write a letter or something. I damn messed around and made you forget that you was damn in the midst of writing your note because I done said something. You done damn cracked up and I done bought you another 24 hours. You all, everything that I do, I move with intent. I said if I ever had wrote a book, it would be centered around that. Everything is intentional with me. So how I deliver content, how I talk to people, it's intentional. I keep damn crying. I can tell you what's going on ways where you're gonna have a key, you're gonna laugh. Y'all know what that means when somebody say, Lord, I gotta laugh to keep from crying. Like, that's real. That's like the case for a lot of people. And so I'm like, people be going through it. So I don't want to be another person where that I'm contributing to, like, you know, people just feeling bad.
Can you all still hear me? I just made it in the parking garage. Maybe not. Can y'all still hear me? Is it bad connection? Y'all let me. Can you still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Because I'll jump off. I just arrived, but the connection sometimes is bad in a parking garage. Let me know in the chat. Can you all still hear me? Yep. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, people be going through it. So y'all, when I be saying, I tell y'all, come out here and I report the news. I promise I don't be lying. Now I'm gonna deliver it in a way that you ain't ever heard it delivered before. But it's like truthful information. I tell y'all, thank you, little lady. I tell y'all to go and look into everything that I talk about. But I deliver it in a way to where I don't want you to be confused about like what's going on out here. Because sometimes it can just be you like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what these people doing. I don't somebody else is struggling to understand as well. You see what I'm saying? Don't because you know some that everybody else know. Rizza, you say it's choppy. Okay. Can y'all hear me? I'm probably about to end the live. I just pulled up in the garage. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna hop off probably. Can y'all hear me? I'll probably get ready because I'm in a garage. Yes, you can hear me. Is it still like choppy? I just made it to where, y'all be riding along with me. I'm in a parking garage. I just arrived. It's good. Did they work? Can y'all hear me okay? You can, it's clear. Because Riz, I saw you said it's choppy. Your note was like the last one I saw, but you guys are coming in. George Dixon, Riz, I see you all. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I'm in a garage. Follow me. Follow, follow me. Subscribe. Get choppy, but better now. Thank you, little lady. Y'all, listen. I just say show up. Show up in a way in which you want others to show up for you. Listen. Like attracts like. Be nice. Just be nice. Just be nice. People are going through it. You may be going through it. Just keep that in mind. A bunch of people are going through it. So happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Stay tuned for more content to come. And yeah, like the video, share the video, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next broadcast, on the next live. Thank you, awesome mods. Thank you all for monitoring. Thank you, Tim. Good morning. Hope you're well. Thank you. Thank you all. Um, yeah, it's a bad connection, bad reception in here, so I can't really see. But y'all stay tuned. Um, more lives to come. More lives to come. Have a good rest of your day. Happy Tuesday. Peace.